beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
Yes, I've been at the VA 10 years. I specifically came to work in the hospice program, which is my passion, and I'm still at the David James Hospice Program and still very passionate about end-of-life care and serving our veterans.
We have Edith Norse Rogers, who was a congresswoman, one of the first congresswomen in the United States, who represented Bedford and for whom the hospital was named. And now we have another name, David James. Who was David James?
So David James was our palliative care coordinator. The program started with seed money from the Central VA office back in 2009, which is how I was recruited from Naples, Florida.
Absolutely fabulous.
So David James was one of the individuals that interviewed me to come to the Bedford VA hospice program. And he was instrumental. He was really the visionary for the program that we have today. And we subscribe to a philosophy of veteran-centered care. We subscribe to a philosophy of being passionate, offering quality of life, offering choice, offering the veteran and the family to honor their voice. And we want to make them feel comfortable. We want them to feel loved, supported, and to have everything they need to have a good end-of-life experience. So David was instrumental in seeing that this would happen. And very tragically and unexpectedly, he died. He died May 2014. Our unit opened October 2014, and as a tribute and a way to honor him, we named the unit after him and our program, and it's the David James Hospice Unit, the David James Hospice No Veteran Dies Alone program.
So what makes the David James Hospice Unit different from programs at any of the various different nursing homes around Bedford?
So I would say,
apart from the fact that it is limited to veterans care,
I would say there's dramatic differences in our program. And if you ask me specifically one is what Ralph just alluded to. The David James Hospice Unit has been completely redesigned. It's state-of-the-art with private rooms, private baths. We have the full complement of services with a doctor on the unit. We have a charge nurse, we have a nurse manager, we have rec therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, we have psychology, we have chaplaincy, we have our Hospice No Veteran Dies Alone volunteer program, we have hospice volunteers that visit regularly on the unit to support the veterans with socialization, quality of life, and really see that it's a time to celebrate one's life, and it's not just focused on the sadness and the grief that comes with aging and end of life or having a chronic life-limiting illness. So one of the things that I would like to share that we had recently is that we have the DAV, the Disabled American Vets. These are veterans that are disabled. They come together, and we have the DAV Hospice Helpers, and what they specifically do is that they will come for like Thanksgiving, they will come for DAV Day. One gathers around, shares stories, the families feel loved, and then we visit the rooms and we'll do a variety of different things, and we bring them gifts, we bring them chocolates, and this is all sponsored by the DAV Hospice Helpers. It's pretty amazing. So a few other things that I'd like to highlight, which I think are integral to the program, is that we have community partners, and one of the other key community partners is the Disabled Limbless Vets. And that is run by a very nice man, Dominic Marcelino, who is a triple amputee from the Vietnam War. And he has adopted the hospice unit, and like just today, he delivered 10 blankets for the veterans with all, you know, from the Air Force, from the Marine Corps. This is made by a special group of women. He brings us little K-Cups coffee, so that when the families want to have a coffee, they have K-Cups. We often would have, he would buy Market Basket gift cards, so at night after dinner, if the veterans wanted to have a cup of coffee with a donut, they could have the luxury of having that. One of the ways that we surpass what's an average hospice program is by doing these special things that create a life, that create a life that's far beyond an institutional setting.
Right, you're not just in a bed waiting.
And it's the same thing as a geriatric veteran or as a hospice veteran. We welcome you. We want to celebrate who you are, what your life was about. We want you to feel welcomed. We want you to continue to do the things that you like to do, whether it's to play bingo, cribbage, whether it's to write poetry, whether it's to paint, whether it's to, we had one veteran, a woman veteran who celebrated her 95th birthday, and she loved Paris. And so what we did is that we had an afternoon in Paris to celebrate.
So
and it was
good.
just amazing. And we had a mime, and we had French pastry, and we had French music, and it was really delightful. Part of aging is that you reflect on your life.
Yep.
You reminisce, and you say, wow, this is what I did really well. This is what I wish I would have done a little differently. This is where I need to ask for forgiveness. This is where I get to say, thank you, I love you. And one of the things that we do in our hospice program is we have, when actually a veteran, after he passes, he takes his last breath, the doctor will pronounce him. If the family's on the unit, we ask them if they would like to participate in the final salute. And it's where we have the flag over the gurney, all the staff join in, the family joins in, we play taps, and veterans come out of their room and salute him as he's being wheeled off the unit. So it's the mindset that this was my brother, this is my brother, and it goes back to just taking care of one another. And we had one veteran that was also, he was a Vietnam veteran too, had Agent Orange, PTSD, and he lost many of his brothers died during Vietnam, and he had survivor's guilt. And he became the mayor on our unit. He said to me, if I was a veteran, which I'm not, I would come to the Bedford VA for hospice care, without a doubt, because I've worked all my life as a medical social worker for over 30 years, probably for the last 20 years in hospice care. And what's exceptional is the compassion, dedication, and earnestness in which we care for our veterans and our families.
Time to wonder and to dream. Freedom for freedom, call that an even steam. Give me time to wonder